I wanted to share this project that I did recently where um, I have this area in the yard that's not really used for anything. Basically, it's kind of an in-between area where I've got this area here, we do a lot of stuff here. There's another area on the other side where we do a lot of stuff. But this area in between is just, it's kind of wasted space. And I decided it might be a really nice place to put some grapevines. So you can actually see there's a grape plant right here. There's several others. You can't really see them, but there's one there. There's one here. There's one here. So I thought, let me go ahead and just turn this into a little grape area. The house is right over here. And so, if we're in the house, the grape area being right outside, just a nice place to have some grapes. And, we don't have to go far. We can just step out off the back porch and have some grapes and berries growing right out there for us to harvest. So what I built is a little box that I can put a whole bunch of mulch and stuff in. And that's going to suppress the weeds, and it's got a really nice aesthetic quality. And, it'll kind of just give our house that finished look, I've got this room in the back. This room, we redid the roof, and we also ran electricity out to it. So we're kind of trying to improve this whole back area to, get ourselves a nice little sitting area. So you can see here's the trench for the electricity, and I've got all this junk wire and stuff. So this is kind of what we were dealing with before. Wanted to clean it up to try and get a nice little sitting area. So this was a little fire pit we had on New Year's Eve, super nice, and we just want to turn the whole area into a nice pleasant place to hang out. So this is the area. We've got this big trench. I had to fill that in. We had an electrician come out and do the electricity out to the shed, and that's really what I had been waiting on. Was once I got the electricity done, then I could start filling everything in. So I leveled out the soil, filled in the trench, leveled out the soil. The area slopes from front to back, so there's a slope from up here on the left toward here on the right, and that was surprisingly difficult to deal with throughout this whole project. It was too much slope to really level it out completely, and so I just kind of had to deal with this sloped aspect to the region. So here's the front area. This is the porch, so this is kind of our back porch here. So as soon as this is all done, we'll have these nice grape trellises going back here, and we'll be able to just step off the back porch and collect our grapes and berries. You can see the area was very difficult to work with. It's highly variable. I've got this brick here, this chunk of brick here. There's cement, not brick, but cement rather. So cement here, this chunk of cement sticking out here. There's cement underneath this whole area, so it's very difficult to work with. And that made it kind of a challenge to get through this project. This is the other side, so you can see it's also highly variable over here. It's open here. It's got this brick wall here. This is our septic tank. It's got an open area here. So a lot of little challenges to negotiate with this. I'm using these I think these are 2x8s, pressure treated wood, and that's basically going to form a frame, kind of like a sandbox basically, but it's going to be filled with mulch, and that'll suppress the weeds and make this a super low maintenance area. So I'm basically putting in this little sandbox type of construction all the way around the perimeter. I'm using these surveyor stakes to keep all these in place and have it be nice and sturdy and not fall apart on me. So here I've started the perimeter, dug a little trench here. I've got this going along this side, this going along the back, and basically this whole area is going to be surrounded by this pressure treated lumber. There's that slope I was talking about, so it slopes from the front part here to the back over here. So that was kind of a challenge trying to get these boards to line up nicely. But ultimately, this is how it all played out, and I'm pleased with how nice it turned out. It may not look super nice yet, but once I got all the mulch in there, it turned out really, really nice. You can see all the different variation that I encountered. So I have this chunk where I had to cut out some of the pressure treated lumber, this area where I actually had two pieces stacked on top of each other, this area where I have a gap between the sidewalk and this pressure treated lumber. So really, really complicated to deal with all this variation, but overall it turned out really nice. I hope you'll agree. And then I'm a goat farmer, so part of what I do as a goat farmer is I go to the coolers around my area, the agricultural distributors, and they'll generally have produce that they can't sell for whatever reason, whether it's dirty or whether it's old or whether it's just extra that they don't have a contract for. So I pick up all this produce and I feed the produce to our goats. And part of that leaves me with a big giant collection of cardboard boxes. So I have tons of these cardboard boxes. I've taken a bunch of them to the dump. I've reused a lot of them. So this cardboard is basically the perfect mulch. So I laid down an entire carpet of cardboard mulch. There you can see it from the side. So there's, that nice finished look that I was going for. All of this is laser leveled in the back, so it looks like it's unlevel, but it's actually level. It's just that the deck is actually not super level. And then this is the mulch that I'm going to lay on top of the cardboard. I got this free from a landscape company. I asked them for wood chips. They brought me this. And in some better, in some ways I'm not as into it. So what I like about it is that it's a lot of leaf matter. And those leaves are going to be very nutrient dense so that when they decompose, they're really going to feed that soil beautifully. And, we won't have to fertilize the grapes. It'll just be a really, really nice, slow release, nutrient layer that will help feed the grapes over time. I don't like the fact that the leaves are going to decompose much more rapidly than wood chips would have. And so, you can see there are some wood chips in here. So, plenty of it will stick around for a while, but a lot of this leaf mulch is actually going to decay over the course of a couple of years. Whereas if it were straight wood chips, it would take, many years for it to decompose and it would have been much lower maintenance. Overall, I'm happy with it though. And here I'm starting to fill in the leaf mulch on top of the cardboard. And this nice thick carpet is going to hold the moisture in incredibly well, which is really important for us because we're in a low moisture environment. We only get about 12 inches of rain per year. Currently, we're about halfway through our rainy season, and we've gotten less than a quarter of an inch. Less than a quarter of an inch. So our area can be extremely dry at times, and so it's very, very important that we have a nice thick mulch layer to make sure that whatever moisture does fall into the area gets retained and used as best we can. So I've got this nice thick layer of mulch. Took quite a while, was quite a few scoops with the tractor. And this is now the finished product. So it's nice and level, smooth, and you can see it's got that really nice finished product look to it. And even my dog likes it. So overall, really nice project. So when all is said and done, I'm going to be running trellises. There's going to be a trellis here, another grape trellis here, and another grape trellis here. And in addition to those grapes, I'm also going to be planting some currant bushes and maybe some raspberry and blackberry plants. So just wanted to share this little project, and maybe you've got something similar, a similar area that you might be interested in making a similar conversion.